This cost me a nickel. Video games are some of the priciest forms of entertainment out there. Most releases, 60 bucks a pop. You know how much house you could buy with that? I'm not telling you, ask a realtor. Games are expensive, there's no getting around that, which is why every single title enters the circle of life. See, we started 60 bucks when the game initially releases. That's fun, people love a good joke. But see, when people buy the game brand new and beat it all and have nothing else to do in the title, how are they gonna fund the next game they wanna buy? Well, they could work for money. You can sell that game and then use that money to buy new game. So sell your $60 game for $40 after you're done with it. Some sap will buy your used copy for $50. That sap sells their $50 game for $30. The fucking moron who bought that game sells it for $15. The idiot who buys that game for $15 sells it for $5. And then the me who buys it for $5 is pretty much stuck with it because why would I sell it? To use a phone booth? Many games maintain their value for years, sometimes even increasing in price if there's a high enough demand, but what about the games that just plummet in value? The games that rot on a game store shelf for years. Nobody buys them. Ever. And as time goes on, more and more copies pile up because nobody wants these games. They're completely worthless. The price keeps going down until it reaches rock bottom, and even then nobody wants it. This, my friends, is the bargain bin game. Games that just refuse to sell. At all. Like Smallpox sells more than Battleborn. Piles of these games crowd used game store shelves, all for dirt cheap. 3 bones, 2 bones, 1 bones, 50 cents, sometimes even pennies. But why aren't people buying these games? Those are some crazy prices. Like, come on, these are in fact video games. Being able to pick one up for the price of integrity, well, that's a steal. Well, allow me to dissect what it takes to be a bargain bin game with the 4 categories of the dollar bin. You think you have what it takes to be fucking worthless? Take notes from the pros. Games that are pretty much unplayable in their current state, whether that means a game that was online multiplayer only and said online multiplayer has either been shut down for years or nobody's playing it, or the game is Glee Karaoke Revolution Volume 3. Yeah, I was surprised too when I pulled this off the shelf and saw the price. What? Well, when you do some critical thinking, it does make some sense. Pretty much any game that requires a peripheral and is sold with just the game, they are pretty much all in the dollar below crowd. DJ Hero, Band Hero, karaoke games, dance pad games. I mean, many of these titles, you pop them in, they're giving you the stink eye. Yeah, Scott, where the hell is your SingStar microphone? They're the games that require toys to scan in. Disney Infinity, Skylanders, Lego Dimensions. I mean, what are you gonna do without the toys? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, the dance pad games, you can usually play with a controller, but look me in the eye and tell me you want this. Now, a few games maintain their value even without their accessories. Some of the Guitar Heroes are still fairly pricey, but that's because people miss Guitar Hero. Now, why is Band Hero only 99 cents in comparison? Because nobody misses Band Hero. What the hell is the difference? You play in a band in Guitar Hero too. These are games that are fundamentally paperweights in their current form. Stores like GameStop have to accept them as trade-ins because, well, they are games. But nobody was buying Starlink with the toys. What makes you think somebody wants it without? So, worthless equals games that are missing accessories that sort of make these games playable, or online-only games that do not work anymore. Games that are constantly getting new versions every single year. When the latest FIFA comes out, last year's becomes completely irrelevant. And if you think FIFA 19 is worthless now, where does that put FIFA 15? You mainly see this with the sports games. FIFA, MLB, NBA, PGA, NFL, ABBA. You may ask, what's the point of spending $60 on the new versions when last year's and the year before that and the year before that featured games that were pretty much the same but with a few differences? To answer that question, I will answer this question. What's the meaning of life? I don't know. Some yearly titles do maintain value, even some sports games do. I've been jonesing for a complete Madden 08 collection, but the PSP and Mac versions are somewhat pricey. I made some mock-up copies to get a good idea of what it will be like to actually be happy. Games that everybody owned for a while there, but now nobody cares anymore. Games that were fads are games that were bundled in with consoles or controllers. Like, pretty much every PlayStation Move owner got Sports Champions with it. Does that mean every PlayStation Move owner didn't sell the game? I don't even think any PlayStation Move owner still owns a PlayStation Move. The Sega Superstars Tennis Xbox Live Arcade Combo Pack, yeah. These were included with a ton of Xbox 360s, which meant a metric 70% of Xbox 360 owners didn't want the games because GameStops are made of these games. Peel off the wallpaper, you'll find them. Now, of course, there's also the fad titles, games that nobody wants to play anymore because nobody wants to play them anymore. Kinect games and Wii Party games. Like, I don't even think the developers want these. Yeah, these are just bad. Games that nobody wants because they're just not good. Some of these games immediately hit the bargain bins within a year or two of release. Anthem, Knowledge is Power, That's You. Look at these price points. They're pathetic. Games that not only rot on the store shelves when they're used and years old, but games that do so when they're brand new. Stores could never get rid of these things no matter how hard they tried. They're legitimately is just nobody who really wants these things. His bargain bin titles can be pretty much anything, but those 4 categories are the most common reasons they're the undesirables. When somebody trades in one of these games at a GameStop, they're fundamentally sending these games off to die. Nobody buys these, and if they do, half the time they harvest these copies for their cases to use on games they actually care about. But that doesn't mean there isn't inherent value to some of these games. Truth or Lies without the microphone, that's oddly enough better than Truth or Lies with the microphone. It's completely unplayable in this state. I mean, the Naked Brothers band for $1. Come on, these opening animations alone are worth admission. And hey, buying a video game for so cheap, that's fun. It's like adopting a child that's older than you. Like, this shouldn't happen, but hey, it's a cool story to tell. I got a game for 50 cents.